Good morning, everybody. 49. So I'm learning to practice this very phrase, and I want to encourage others to practice this phrase too, right? And it's called thanks for sharing. Somebody want to come to you with bullshit? Thanks for sharing. Somebody want to tell you about what's going on with somebody you no longer speak to? Thanks for sharing. Somebody wants to come to you about gossip and not talk about their own stuff? Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Even when it comes to your own mind, because a lot of us overthink the negative when we can just shift it and overthink the positive. But that's a whole nother video. Thanks for sharing. When your mind tells you you can't do it, thanks for sharing. When others try to clown you about something that you got going on, a project that you want to invest in, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. That's it. We don't have to argue with people. We don't have to prove ourselves anymore. And like I always say, I tell it to y'all because I tell it to myself. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. That's it. You can stop the conversation right there. Thanks for sharing. Oh, why you got that on? Thanks for sharing. Why you look like that? Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Because one thing people gonna always have is an opinion. And another thing people gonna always have is the audacity to tell you their opinion like you really care about it. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Let's all practice that moving forward. Thanks for sharing. Well, why are you doing that? Thanks for sharing. I don't even answer questions anymore. Just thanks for sharing. We don't even have to answer. It doesn't matter. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. I told somebody that shit this morning, excuse my language, they was tight. They was tight. What does that mean? Thanks for sharing. Look up. Thanks for sharing. Only 3 words. You can look that up in the dictionary. Thanks for sharing. Why I used to. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. That's all you need to say. Thanks for sharing. When you say thanks for sharing, do you know how much that eliminates? You don't even have to say anything else after that. The conversation is cut short. I had an individual try to first of all, they started talking about themselves, which I was just, I'm just listening. Then I don't know how they hit me with the reverse. It was like a big Uno reverse. It was like, well, did you know? So thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Like, it doesn't really matter what somebody else is saying or doing. Thanks for sharing. The people that I'm concerned about, they have my number. We talk, we call each other. We're in communication. I don't need you to tell me about other communications. Thanks for sharing. Somebody says something that you don't want to hear. Thanks for sharing. That's it. We don't have to go to back and forth. We don't have to argue. I don't have to understand you. I don't have to overstand you. I don't have to over-explain myself, under-explain myself. I don't have to do any of that. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. And sometimes we can apply that to our own mind. I'm telling you. Sometimes your mind will play you out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are so used to vibrating low, when you start vibrating high and doing other things that you wouldn't usually do for yourself, loving yourself, taking care of yourself in real time, doing the actual things that it is so you can become a better person and be better, not even physically, spiritually. And if not spiritually, for most, emotionally. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Because we all have those negative thoughts that come and go. And people telling you that they don't, they're lying. We all have those negative thoughts that come and go out of nowhere. It's like, you ain't shit. Oh, Lord, who the fuck said that? You know what I'm saying? Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. You got to do that to yourself, 49, to the mind, and for others. Because people look up. I had a lady come up to me. When was this? Was this yesterday? I want to say this was yesterday. And just like, I think people don't know how to approach certain people. It's like, won't you say, you look really nice? Or won't you just say, hey, how are you? How have you been? That's it. You're going to say, oh, what happened? Thanks for fucking sharing. And that's what I should have said. I just look like, oh God. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so the next time you find yourself in a predicament when, because sometimes people just don't know what to say. They just don't, they just feel like they have to say something, or because they're so used to, I don't know. People say the craziest things. Like, it's like, what? Won't you just say hi, hello, how are you? What's going on? No, they got to say some off the wall shit like, what are you talking about? Thanks for sharing. So the next time somebody comes up to you with any, excuse my language, frogger bullshit, thanks for sharing. I'm not doing that with you. I don't have the energy. I can't give you that. Thanks for sharing. Okay? 49?